நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற ஒரு ஐட்டமும் 600 வருஷத்துக்கு கம்மியாக கிடையாது. All what you're going to see is at least 600 years old, and I dedicate my work to the wisdom of the ancient creators, the Sthapatis, to the kings and rulers who, like our donors, facilitated the ecosystem to create these amazing works of art, and finally to people like you and me, Samanyargal, who just know how to appreciate. I salute to the creators, the wisdom of the ancients. Please, every one of you, please tag, hashtag we use, bring our gods home. If you think what I speak today makes sense to you, I want you to speak about this particular icon. This was taken from a temple in Coimbatore, just 5 minutes drive away. Karivarada Perumal temple, Vishnu and Murtis from Kottamedu, taken away by Lord Curzon. I know, the Veranda Club, we should do an event on this. Taken away by Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, in 1898, currently bequeathed to the V&A. So if you go to London, you can see these murtis with the provenance plate reading part of a buried hoard in Coimbatore. So they are acknowledging that it was from Coimbatore, taken away against the law of the land because India had its Treasure Trove Act from 1878. I think Amar is here, we managed to print a large cutout. So at least a cutout can hang in the temple, but sadly due to the prevalent situation, they couldn't even hang that. We couldn't even get a picture of this inside the temple. Please visit the temple, and we need to push so that next time we come, at least we have some traction. If you don't do this, this was a news item that was published in 1984. Thousands of Hindu icons. And believe me, we've been losing icons like this every 10 years. News items come. As usual, we go. And what has been India's performance in this period? 1972 to 2000, India brought back 19 antiquities, 19 art objects. 2000 to 2012, 0. 2013 to now, and this is not my data, it is a CAG report of 2018, not the CAG report, this is another CAG report which nobody has read. So far we have crossed 300. Since then, it could have been thousands, but at least we have made a change. But in the same period that we're talking about, Nepal brought back 1,480 icons, Cambodia brought back 1,200 icons. So we have to look at it. So this is what we do. I'm just going to skip through why we do this. This is a temple in Anandamangalam. These 4 bronzes were robbed in 1978. We tracked them to a dealer in London, 3 of them, where they were for sale. After 4 years of battle and proving, searching for this temple, because this FIR was destroyed. Because police stations today are judged by open FIRs. So within 1 year, they caught 350 thieves and told that they robbed some 7 temples, idols not recovered, and they destroyed the FIR. So it took us 4 years to find, going through thousands of photographs to find a match. But then, once we found the match, we worked with the Indian High Con, the Metropolitan Police, and on August 15th of 2018, this happened. The bronzes are coming back. And they went back to the temple. Today, if you go to Anandamangalam, they have become the gods that they were once destined to be. Daily worship is there. The local people turned around, rallied the government when they said, the government said, if we give you back, will the temple, will they be robbed again? The local industrialists built a strong room, put CCTV, got the police beaten, and today the temple proudly has this. And 10,000 people came for the restoration, and they continue to come. And not only that, actually the temple was called the Ramar temple. Later it became Hanuman temple because Ramar was gone. But now it's again become the Ramar temple. You can just Google, you'll get a lot of, because the Hanuman of the group is still stuck in Singapore. For the last 4 years, the Indian government is still asking for the Hanuman to come back. The last time when I went to the temple, the priest, the old man, bent with age, under whose watch these were drawn, said, sir, and the Hanuman kondu vandirunga, na uyiru adu pidichundiruken. So the thing is, these are Thirumenis. They are not art objects. And India, for that matter, has signed only the UN Convention in 1970. We have not even signed the Untitled Convention of 1995. We have not signed any UN treaties after that. Nothing we have done. And why is it that the Western world looks at our icons as art objects? Is because of the price tag. I'm going to show you how the price tag works. And before that, Tirumeni na enna? Literally in Tamil, Tirumeni means body of God. So in the morning, they'll be bathed, they'll be woken up, singing songs, they're adorned, dressed, ceremoniously fed, weddings, marriages, everything happens at night. They're put to sleep as though they're living gods. And then, when there was an invasion in the 14th century, the Agamas prescribed how you safeguard the bronzes and stones. They were buried for safety. They were buried if they had time. If they did not have time, they would throw into pond, lakes, whatever. And this is not just in Tamil Nadu. All over India, we get these buried icons coming out. Why? Because the ancients, when they took so much of time to safeguard the gods, why didn't they bring it back? Because the threat lasted only for about, in South India, at least 6 months. My logic is, one, they were chased away, or they were killed, but they did not reveal the secret. And this is what happened 1.5 years ago. A Nataraja coming out, and within 2 minutes, he's given a wash. 600 years he was under the ground. He's gone back to being a god that he once was. And this was the purpose of the ancients. Not this. What you are seeing is a private sale happening in New York, where our murtis are being commodified on a display case, and people are posing against it with alcohol and whatever. And this was a disgraced dealer who's now dead. This is apartment in Bangkok. This is his party. You can see in every frame you can see our bronzes. Not only that, people think our bronzes go only to museums. This is actually a swimming pool. I'd like you to watch this video. This is a property in Hollywood. That's the indoor swimming pool, and that's the outdoor garden furniture. You can count the number of our gods that are being reduced to this sorry state. And this is not one. I can show you many of these. So somebody says, oh, you don't take care of murtis. They're better off in Western museums. Hardly 5% end up in museums. Rest of our gods are sitting as guardians of swimming pools. Not only that, they fake the originals. Now you see the Rama's original Chola, the Sita is fake. And when we go to museums, people don't realize why the feet are cut. I was in Cambodia 2 weeks ago. They have recorded 2,600 Shiva statues, feet alone. Another 1,000 Vishnu just in Siam Reap area. Now in India, I show you an example why the feet are not there. So you can actually see this is in Devgar. You can actually see what the robbers have done. The feet are anchored to a heavy stone pedestal. So the robbers can't move it. So they bring axes and they chop off the legs. Not only that, they also do it for shipping. So they deliberately break an icon so that they can take it back to America. There are restorers who can stitch them back. So this is not safeguarding our culture like Europeans or Americans protecting our heritage from theft. This is willful defacement. You can look at, this is from Umri Sun Temple, where they've cut off the head, put on a stake, and they're being sold. So this is a book that was published in London in 1998, exposing 3 networks in India. The networks had, I don't want to scully the award by saying the correct name, Lotus awarded scholars going around with Sotheby's employees, taking them to Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, showing them the best of Indian art, and then it was looted. So this was not some random theft. This was a organized looting on an industrial scale where the best of Indian art was priced and then looted. And one example is this Varaha. It weighed 15 tons and it's currently sitting in Switzerland. The robbers actually tied steel chains around the leg, yanked it to a truck, pulled it breaking. So this Varaha is about this big. We have it listed as the 10 most wanted sculpture in the world. It's sitting in Switzerland. The Indian embassy made a request to the person who's having it. He said, I have 3, which one is yours? We should have all for all 3, but anyway. Like this, we also, like Mr. Mohammed said, there are a lot of traction that is easily solved cases. Like this damsel, for the last 14 years, despite the proof that we have provided, this is the matching that we do, every single scratch. So this is a previous ASI in situ photograph when she was still on the ceiling. So if you look at the dome, you will actually see her there, like this, 14 sculptures. All of them have been stolen. We have tracked one. We provided the proof, every scratch, every break, and for the last 13 years, we are requesting the Denver Museum to give her back. Because of that, what's happening, the trade is getting even more. So this was a temple in Karnataka, in Kikkeri, and this is what the robbers did in 2014. You can actually see each one of them, they've actually broken off. So 6 ceiling damsels have been robbed. So how big is the loot? Because normally when I talk about this, people say, oh, but the numbers, 5, 10 are going. So this was the villain of my book, Subhash Kapoor. His holding stock in New York. I'm just going through random images. So you can actually see state-wise I have a list. And overall, so this is actually an Indo-Gangetic form and an Indus seal. All for sale, not one, but many numbers. And all this was part of his unsold stock. So in New York, 14 storage locations were raided by Homeland Security. They yielded 2,622 objects valued at $108 million, about 850 crores. And Subhash Kapoor was a medium-sized dealer, just his holding stock, and he was in business for 35 years. So you can understand the amount of loot and plunder that is happening all over India. Mohammed Saab talked about a Yakshi. So this Yakshi was in a private temple, robbed. When she comes back, hopefully she'll be the world's most expensive restituted artifact. But look at what she had to go through. Registered antiquity with a private farmer, deliberately cut into 3 pieces by robbers, sent to America and stitched back, and she was in the market for $15 million. We also had another case of this goat-headed Yogini. One of our friends was visiting a farm outside of London, and he noticed her in this state. The owner bought the farm, and she came along with the farm like garden furniture. So he said, I have some grotesque-looking statue here. Could be Indian. We said, we've been searching for it from 1988. So finally this happened, the ceremony. In January of this year, she actually came back to India. This is in the Indian High Commission. We also tracked a lot of Buddhist icons. This was something that was given as a challenge to me by Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal to crack this case. It was a theft in 1961. We tracked, thanks to documents that we have provided, we managed to track it to a sale. So I just show you. So this was the object that we tracked to LACMA. But incidentally, one of our friends was visiting TEFAF, which is an art fair in Maastricht. And these are exchanges, casual exchanges on WhatsApp. I'm giving them a list of dealers to watch out for. So you just get a armchair view of what we do. So she's going there and she's taking photographs of the objects that are on display. And then she sends me one image. And I think it must be 3:43 a.m. in Singapore. That time I was based out of Singapore. I think I have a match. So we informed Dutch police the next day. We tracked it to a dealer in London. And then they disputed our match because they had been very innovative. They broke a leaf from the right side and welded it on the left side of the Buddha. So the original one is the museum artifact, but we proved that it was the same. ASI wrote a letter. ICOM officials came in. And on August 15, 2019, this happened again. This icon was delivered back to India. The Buddha is now back. So we have done a lot of these that have come back to worship. But you have to realize that in this state, bronzes are being smuggled out of the country, which sand and mud incrustations off the ground. This was sent to London to a restorer who did this. So if they do this, very difficult for us to find a match. Thankfully, this restorer was extradited to America last March. He's currently facing trial. So we also do a lot of awareness. I'll take 5 more minutes, Rameshji. Okay. So I thought I should show you what we do. A lot of people, whenever they see my talk, say how we can contribute. So we don't take any money. We don't take any awards. The first award I got in the last 16 years was what Suraja gave me last month. Thank you, Suraja. But we do it, volunteer summit, through hard work. They tweet. People are reporting fines so that we stop them from being exported. They are reporting thefts. They photograph, buy catalogs. They send us images, we build knowledge base from there. We data mine the archive. For example, this clue came from a 1914 publication. We tracked this bronze to a temple near Sri Perumbutur, to a museum in Singapore. And now, at least the banner hangs in the temple. This temple was in a ruined state. The locals are now working with us. We work with a lot of other icons as well. That's my book. I'm not trying to pitch my book, just so that you know. This is the villain of my book, Subhash Kapoor, currently under trial, extradited from Germany through a red corner notice in September 2011. He is the world's largest or longest serving criminal. Nobody else has served more than 3 months for heritage crime in the world. So, lucky our Tamil Nadu police have done something good. But what crime? This Nataraja, they thought it was made of gold. They got a jeweler in Coimbatore to melt the hand. So they used the hacksaw to cut the hand off. The jeweler said there's no gold. They had a scuffle. In 2005, the jeweler died. There was a murder case. But in this hand-git condition, this Nataraja went to Nepal, from Nepal to London. In London, Neil Perry Smith, the dealer, made it a new hand. He appeared on a catalogue for Subhash Kapoor. And then a month before Kapoor was arrested, miraculously came back to Chennai, was quietly handed over the police to close the case. So without a passport visa, this Nataraja with a cut hand went up, grew a hand and came back. So you know how complicit the system is. These are actually robber offering photos where, thanks to technology now, they are not even coming to India. People are sending images right after the theft. So you can see a veshti behind the Dwarapalas, a lungi behind. So these are images sent by robbers to bidding. So like Navina Swayamvar, the dealers are bidding and then they are buying the artifacts. So we worked some of our success stories. The Ardhanarishwara from Vidrachanam was the first one that we brought back, Nari Shakti. So it was the tip of the iceberg. We gave the proof. The Australian Premier personally brought it along with the Nataraja, which I'll show you. But during the same course, we spotted another Samandar that was part of a French book that Modi and Mitterrand at that time published. And we managed to get the proof. This was stolen in 1967 from a temple in Sirgari. And the priest that you see on this photo, his father was in charge. And 2 months ago, this happened. So I would like you to see. So he actually showed you the emotion of our gods coming back, and for us that's job well done. So I'm just going to show you 2 more slides and then we're off. So this is a Nataraja that came back, and what we are pushing for is for the local communities renew and rebuild the temples. And this is what happened. So this Nataraja was bought for 5.6 million by Australia, returned back, and you can see the ruined state of the temple and how it was when the Nataraja came back to the temple. So we are ensuring that similar such infrastructure is provided. Maybe with Ramesh ji, we'll talk about the stupidity of the icon centers. So a lot of these success stories are happening because of the work that we do. Success has many fathers. So you can see who is done doing all this work. So I just want to show you this video of a Nataraja from Australia, again another Nataraja coming back home. And this is a celebration where about 4,000 people are welcoming him as he goes back to his award. So I'll share it because we're already out of time later. So this was the recent success when Prime Minister Modi was looking at it. There's a lot of background work, and this is where I want to see you. One of our volunteers talked to a priest. The priest said something was stolen in 1971. We managed to track it to a photo studio in Tanjavur. I have a match, again, all of this happening on WhatsApp. We have a match. We gave the proof to India. We worked with so these are the proofs that we provided. And when Prime Minister Modi came back, and now last month in Pune, Nallur, the Nataraja has gone back to active worship. Like this, we have done many. So these are just this year's work in Italy, in Australia. This Hanuman we found with back. We're also working on a lot of current cases with a lot of people. This was the latest success in Paris. So we have also worked a lot of new cases. So you will see us more in the news and more objects coming back. So I just want to leave you with this, what we have managed to do. I sat with the EAC last 3 months. So there's been a white paper that's been provided by the Niti Aayog under Chairman Bidek Debroy and Sanjeev Sanyal to the Prime Minister, broadly covering what needs to be done to ensure that our gods don't leave the shore. I don't want to end on a sorry note. I want to show you that we are also inspiring other states. I mentor a group in Nepal called the Nepal Heritage Recovery Committee. There's a Nepal Pride project. And February of this year, we got back a Murti, and I want you to feel this. It was stolen in 1960. They're actually bringing it into the exact slot from where it was stolen. Thank you for a patient watch. That's how we bring our gods.